Universities. Most students transitioning from high school yearn to join these institutions of higher learning to pursue courses that are relevant to careers that they want to venture into. But what we have unearthed is that while in school, these students are engaging in relationships, drugs and substance abuse, and unsafe sex, resulting in a high prevalence of abortions and HIV spread. Join me, Marvin Mbugua, and a team of investigative reporters as we bring you this special feature.
Nilipewa namba yako na rafiki yangu aliniambia unafanyanga abortions. Alafu sasa juu mimi niko na ball.
The girl got pregnant, then she terminated it. To terminating the pregnancy, she decided to leave the boy.
Is it possible to abstain? Do you think it's possible to abstain?
Oh, okay, like I said, nilisema like they're afraid of being stigmatized ama being judged, because unaona like for example wezipata like a student, a fourth year student anaenda ku open up to a third year student.
I was called by a friend and informed that Osino is normal. I didn't believe it. I saw him update his status. I asked him what was wrong with him. He just told me I shouldn't worry about it, it's just family issues. Yeah. So I just assumed, because it was always a joke. It was always, you couldn't know if it's serious or not serious.
I think drugs do more harm than good, and there are better avenues to solve things.
On 22nd of July 2021, an article that appeared on the Daily Nation read that in a recent nationwide study by the African Population and Health Research Center, more than 500,000 abortions are conducted annually in Kenya. Further, it read that about 158,000 women go for post-abortion care annually after developing complications. According to Britannica, the definition of abortion is the expulsion of a fetus from the uterus before it has reached the stage of viability. In human beings, usually about the 20th week of gestation. The 500,000 abortions procured in Kenya every year is startling since, according to the Kenyan Constitution, it is termed an illegal act. Article 26(4) of the Constitution reads, "Abortion is not permitted unless, in the opinion of a trained health professional, there is a need for emergency treatment, or the life or health of the mother is in danger, or if permitted by any other written law." Essentially, what it will mean is that to induce an abortion, there has to be the opinion of a trained medical practitioner who determines that there is urgent medical need or that the mother's life is threatened if they continue with the gestation period till the 36th week. But are thousands of abortions being procured all as a result of medical emergencies? We delve deep into this matter as we bring you a report on how easily abortion pills and solutions are being facilitated by chemists and businessmen. It is a thriving business, especially within universities and colleges. Our investigation on how university girls staying around the colleges procure abortion pills started at the chemists. One girl who sought anonymity told us that all we had to do is to walk into specific chemists and pretend that there was an unwanted pregnancy somewhere. One of the reporters, Jennifer Osino, walked into the first chemist and feigned that she was 1.5 months pregnant. This was the conversation.
Niko na ball. I think it's around 1.5 months in. So niko nauliza kama naweza pata dawa.
Kwa nini unataka kutoa?
Maparo. Then sitaki kudisappoint pia dad and then the guy. Ni kama pia ameruka hiyo story, so it's stressing me na masomo. So ndo maana nilikuwa nataka nitoe.
I don't have blood drugs, lakini more than sina hiyo dawa, nitakupea namba yangu tu.
Utanipea namba ya mtu.
Alafu atakutumia.
So ako town, so nikimcall tu atanitumia.
Mtaongea tu naye, mtaelewana.
Na inaweza kuwa how much?
Sijui, sasa mtaongea tu naye.
So unaweza basi ni help na namba. Niandikie namba. Ama ni dial.
Save hapo, dial hapo.
The only question that the attendant asked was why she wanted to terminate her pregnancy, to which our reporter claimed that she did not have the support of family or her partner. The attendant gave her contacts of a person who we will call Jack to protect our reporters. She was asked to contact Jack, who will help her procure the drugs. After being given Jack's phone contact, we decided to text him using a number he could not easily trace to any of our reporters. Pretending to be the male partner, we told him that the alleged girlfriend was 1.5 months pregnant and that we wanted to terminate the fetus. He told us that he would assist us with the medication to get rid of that fetus. He said that the entire procedure would only cost us 3,500 Kenyan shillings since, according to him, had all the medication we needed. Included in this price also was that he would take us through the entire process successfully to come out without any health complications. We thanked him and said that we would get back to him. From a person who sought anonymity, we were informed that the process entails sending money to Jack, and we will pick medication from the same chemist where we picked the contacts. Our informer also told us that some of the pills will be handed in that chemist and that will have been sent to another chemist to collect the remaining drugs. In our investigations, we unearthed that there are some people who have become notoriously popular in the abortion pill trade. We were informed of a quack who poses as a medical doctor but is inherently involved in this business. We were given his contacts, and a correspondent who also pretended that she was pregnant reached him.
Hello, sasa. Huyu ni Dr. Mureithi. Yeah? Oh, sasa nilipewa namba yako na rafiki yangu. Oh, nilikuwa naongelesha mtu na sikutaka asikia kenye nasema. Sasa nilipewa namba yako na rafiki yangu, aliniambia unafanya abortions. Alafu sasa juu mimi niko na ball. Last monthly period yangu ilikuwa last month date 25. Ati ya kuoshwa ni nini? Ati? Sawa.
Dr. Mugendi, not his real name, sounded like he was in a place he was not comfortable conversing about procuring an abortion. He cut short the conversation and sent us text messages. Via the texts, he told us that there are two options. One, a pills Maripist kit for 5,000 Kenyan shillings or pregnancy sanction. He also informed us that the rates vary depending on the condition of the client during the procedure. 6,000 Kenyan shillings under local anesthesia or 8,000 Kenyan shillings under sedation. We talked to various students here within this institution who are more than willing to inform us how this process is staged. We did not wish to reveal the details of the drug that is used, but we were informed by a health expert from the Cases Level 3 dispensary, Dr. Korir, that the drugs normally used is meant for treating ulcers. According to our investigations, we were informed that the abortions can be procured at any stage of the pregnancy. Once the drug is acquired at fees ranging between 2,500 Kenyan shillings and 6,000 Kenyan shillings, the person who sells is supposed to guide the person through the process. It involves inserting one piece of the drug in the birth canal, and then the other medicines are taken orally. Informers who did not agree to a video interview on fear of their identities being exposed told us that the process is painful, but that one of the medicines administered by the quacks helps to ease the pain. Once the process is completed, we were interested to know where the still fetus is disposed. The institution has in the past discovered such instances in the school dump sites. Our informer told us that this is the same exact way she had disposed in her case. But what does the Christian religion say? We talked to an official who worships in one of the most popular churches within the institution.
So tell us more about yourself and your position in the church.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
My name is Niresia Jacinta, and I serve as a discipler in Moi University Grace Chapel. And what that basically means is that together with the council, I work with the students just to have programs and to ensure that their spiritual well-being is taken care of. Yeah.
Do you think that does life start after conception or after birth? Like maybe you could just, what's really your view about abortion? Like,
Okay. I think life starts at conception. I do not want to go into the details of science and all that, but from the moment that child is formed, they are already breathing. So that even if you're saying that when I am committing an abortion or procuring one, I am not killing a human being. It's just something. I feel that even at 3 months or even at 16 days, that there is a person in there, and the fact that they are breathing, and maybe they could not have like all the the body organs, but the fact is that they are breathing. And so because of that, I do not support abortion.
She argued that life begins at conception. This debate has been used quite frequent by most critics of abortions. They claim that by intentionally deciding to procure a process that results in the death of a fetus who could have as well become a person like you or me, they commit murder. But it seems that the fear of carrying a child without substantial financial and emotional support outweighs this argument. Apart from unwanted pregnancies, one of the effects of engaging in unsafe sex is contracting STDs, and one of the sexually transmitted diseases that has been there for quite some time is HIV and AIDS. And we came here to this facility to learn about the prevalence of HIV and AIDS, and maybe to warn the learners of the possible effects and really how much prevalent it is. So first of all, thank you so much for having us here. Maybe you could start with introducing yourself.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm Jaylin Mutai, a counselor.
The counselor who works at this VCT center at Moi University helped us to debunk whether HIV and AIDS is still a threat. She told us that every day they receive between 50 to 20 clients.
Okay, they often come depending on the session. When they are busy, they rarely come. But when they are in session and not busy, they come. So sometimes we receive around 15 to 20 clients per day.
Ms. Jaylin told us that they have been creating awareness by going to the institution and giving health talks to the students. She also says that during school orientation, they also try to enlighten the first years with how they can protect themselves. But just before you think this is unnecessary, the counselor told us that in at least every 2 to 3 days, they find one person who has been infected with HIV.
Some days back, you could test, and for real you'll get a positive client every day. But nowadays you find it takes like 2 days, 3 days before you get. So it has reduced.
If we do our calculations, considering that there are 7 days in a week and the VCT does not operate on Sundays, the number of persons who get infected is between 2 to 3 persons per week, or 8 to 12 persons in a month. In a semester of 4 months, again that is between 32 to 48 infected persons. A typical academic year has 3 semesters, which means that between 96 to 144 persons are infected with HIV every single year. She further told us that the stigma is still a matter of great concern, even though there are drugs that can prolong the life of a person who is already infected. But how can anyone protect themselves? She tells us that the only sure way is to abstain from having sex. But is this possible?
Is it possible to abstain? Do you think it's possible to abstain where we are today?
Okay, it depends on the age.
Okay.
There's an age where it is possible for someone to abstain, but there is a certain age not possible, depending on the environment that they are in. Like here in campus, you find the environment is different from the high school environment. So you find it is hard for them to abstain, but there are some who abstain.
So what the only preventive measures, okay, what are the preventive measures needed?
So abstinence is the best,
Yes.
and that is the first one.
Yes.
So we have
One of the greatest challenges over the past few decades around the world has been mental health. In African culture, mentally ill persons were considered either bewitched or being possessed by evil spirits. But lately, terms such as depression, anxiety disorder, ADHD and stress have become commonplace. There have been stories of children as young as 10 years old taking their own lives, and our universities have not been spared. Wednesday, 12th of January 2022, at around midday, a first-year student at Moi University by the name Jose Sifuna updates his WhatsApp status. The content read as follows: I'm traveling. This journey is sweet, and thanks for the fare. Daddy, mommy, brothers, sister, friends. It came as a surprise to many of his viewers. Some of his friends shared with us that they asked him what was wrong, to which he assured them that the journey he was referring to was that from home, as he had just reported to school. Jose reported to school in preparation for his first year, second semester exams scheduled on 17th of January. He was in the School of Arts and Social Sciences studying linguistics, media and communication, and was known by his classmates as a jovial class representative. We decided to visit Emily, a close friend of Hosea, who closely worked with him as a class representative of the English and Literature class. She told us they shared several units and has fond memories of Mr. Hosea.
I saw him update his status. There were some things that he posted on his status. Yeah. I asked him what was wrong with him. He just told me I shouldn't worry about it. It's just family issues. I'm traveling. The journey is so sweet. Thanks for the fare. He blessed dad, bye, mom, dad, bye, siblings, bye. So it will catch people's attention.
On that same day, in the late hours of Wednesday night, it is believed that a friend went to check on him. He did not seem well. He did not have any roommates and lived alone inside his cubicle at the hostel. Moments later, an ambulance rushed to the hostels to urgently ferry Hosea to hospital for immediate medical attention. It was at this time that friends and family began to debunk the journey he was referring to, which he had earlier on dismissed.
He didn't have a roommate, but he had a friend. Yeah. So the person who went and noticed that he poisoned himself until he was taken to the hospital is the friend. Yeah.
In the mid-morning hours of Thursday, 13th of January 2022, the young and vibrant Hosea was pronounced dead while undergoing medical attention at the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital. It is alleged that he had taken poison to take his life.
Oh, he poisoned himself. Yeah, I think he poisoned himself. He went to the shop, bought a poison and then poisoned himself. Hostel. Yeah.
The question that was left lingering on many people's minds was what had pushed such a youthful man with a promising future and career to the point of wanting to take his life. Amy, like other friends will share with us, suspected a previous relationship might have driven him to the edge.
According to what I heard from people, like what people said about his demise, it was because of relationship, campus relationship,
What was shocking to many is that Hosea is described as having been a man of the people, very jovial, and always wore a bright smile on his face. He had many friends and his classmates enjoyed his leadership. Amy, who had just interacted with him on Tuesday, a day before his demise, told us that he did not show any signs of being depressed and that until the last minute he seemed happy and contented.
Ungejua kama walikuwa na shida kwa hiyo relationship before, because walikuwa tu hivi pamoja, wanatembea tu pamoja, class wanakaa pamoja, so singejua. Everything was just normal. So until that time when actually Hosea was a very good person and he was the best class rep, I can say. He was friendly to everyone, and he was always available for any person.
Unsatisfied with the many questions everyone had that had made Hosea and so many others like him to reach such points, we decided to talk to psychologists and mental health advocates. Our investigative reporter was interested to learn about taking care of our mental health and what will possibly drive any person to the point of wanting to end their life.
I think it's the investments that boys or men do make in relationships.
So inamaanisha boys tunaweka more investment.
Yes, which is beyond their reach. Because unapata you are a student, you depend a lot from your parents, and then the same amount of support you get, you try to gawa it to support you too. And then unapata like you struggle, and then wakati unapata like it's nini, it has been, you have invested a lot, and then that relationship is not working as you had planned, so unakuwa mentally challenged. I'm affected.
Okay, so nini inafanya most of them, especially the boys, wasisik ile support wakati wanakuwa pushed into such a depression, wasitafuta usaidizi ama ushauri wa vile wanaweza kujitoa kwa ile hali ambayo wameachwa?
Sijui niseme ni societal perception that boys ama men in general wanafaa kuwa strong. So like you don't have to be a crybaby ati ama like getting weak ama feeling weak. So you have to prove that you are a man, and by doing so unataka like kujiconvince that no, you are not going through this, you are okay, you are doing good. So that is what limits the most.
Kando na labda kuja kutafuta ushauri, kuna mbinu zingine ambazo mtu anaweza kujitoa kutoka kwa depression kando na kutafuta washauri? Kuna vile mtu anaweza kujitoa kutoka kwa msongo wa mawazo, labda kando na nyinyi washauri, labda anaweza kutafuta marafiki, kuna mbinu zingine?
Yeah, okay, apart from marafiki, kuna marafiki apart from the professional counseling that one might need. Kuna marafiki, kuna engaging activities like for example football, watching games, movies, anything that can be fun of you. Ina depend your talent ama your passion iko wapi. So that ina act kama distract. Yes, sasa hivyo. And then kuna vitu mingi, kuna talking to friends, going to classes, and like kujifungia kwa nyumba, talking to people, sharing, and not only sharing, unafaa kufind confident mtu unaweza trust with your issues. Yeah.
On the 21st of January 2022, a somber mood engulfed Mr. and Mrs. John Kissa's home in Bungoma as family and friends gathered to lay Hosea to rest. Fellow students and representatives from the institution told of the shock they were in following the dramatic events that led to Hosea's sudden death.
Wageni wote ambao wamejumuika nasi na wasalimu katika jina la Yesu Kristo. Amjambo. Mimi kwa majina naitwa Brian. Mimi ni baadhi ya mwanafunzi ambaye nilikuwa ninasoma naye katika darasa moja. Na haya yote ambao wakati yalitokea, sisi kama darasa hatukuamini, bali ilibidi tukubali yote, na yenyewe tushayakubali. Itabidi tuendelee na maisha kama kawaida.
Mr. and Mrs. John Kissa, family, relatives and friends. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Kissa, message of condolence. I have learned with profound shock and deep regret of the sudden death of your beloved son, the late Mr. Hosea Sifuna. The late Mr. Sifuna, until his death, was a first-year student in the School of Art and Social Sciences. On behalf of Moi University Council, Senate, staff, and students, and on my own behalf, I wish to convey our heartfelt condolences to you and your entire family. We share our thoughts and prayers with you during this very difficult time of mourning, trusting that the Almighty God will grant you the strength to bear this loss. I pray that you take consolation in the belief that although death is inevitable, it is but a transition to a more peaceful existence, and that you be strong in the faith that our Heavenly Father is always by your side.
The question that lingered on many people's minds was there any possibility that any form of intervention would have probably changed the course of actions? Will he have changed his mind not to take his life? Perhaps.
Yeah. If people could have taken actions according to what he posted on his status, it couldn't like angekufa yeah, he could be still alive by now. But due to ignorance and everything, is normal. Yeah.
Sadly, it was too late.
What I can only tell students is that HIV is real, HIV is there, and it affects human beings, which means it is I and you. So the best thing for students is to apply the APC, abstinence, protectives, yeah, and being faithful, and also using. And also being careful. Yeah.
I feel like people should get into relationships with one goal, the goal to be married, not to have fun or to have someone feel like, you know, I was with you and now I'm with so and so, that kind of thing. That's abortion. Mm-hmm. Well, I think it is not okay, as much as we would want to justify it with women's rights and the fact that, you know, it's their body and they can do all they want to do. I personally feel that it should not be allowed. I know there has been so many conversations around that, but as me, no.
First and foremost, ni seeking professional help, that is counselors, qualified counselors, and then we have like sharing to your confidant, opening up, disclosing video to reduce suppressing emotions and feelings, because opening up or sharing helps one to ease his or her emotions and feelings. And then we have engaging in activities or hobbies in whatever that you find that it makes you happy, that you can do. And then we have talking and going to classes for students, that is, and avoid like locking yourselves indoors, watching movies, and sports.
Relationship in campus si mbaya, pia ni mbaya. It's only good when you find that one guy or that one lady who don't play you, who don't complicate issues in the relationship. In campus, someone should not put much attention into relationship, because huyo mtu si wa kwenu, atakuacha anytime.